Yep, welcome back to SeaBed. Last time, Takako looked at the notebook that she received, and it seemed to have been written by Sachiko. Not confirmed, but it seems to have been written by Sachiko, and it describes a moment in their past where Takako fucking cracked her head open and had to be taken to the hospital and get stitches. And we got a date that took place in 1979. Which is helpful for getting like a whole chronology on everything. And then Mayuko and Takako went to like buy Christmas presents and stuff. I don't remember that well. It has been a couple days since I last played this. I've been kind of sick the last few days. I'm still a little sick, so apologies if my voice is a bit raspy or you hear my nose being stuffy or whatever. But the show must go on. Anything else? No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I checked the gallery before starting. I haven't checked this since I started the game. I noticed we're missing a CG here, which is strange. All the CGs seem to be in chronological order, so it's between the car CG and you. What was her name? God, I need to reorganize my notes again. Kozue. Between these two. You know, I wonder if I looked at this CG page, like here, or like about here in the story, would I have seen these funeral CGs? Because we technically did see them after this scene, but we only saw them for like half a second, and it was only like part of them. So I wonder if these would have been blocked, and then like when we saw the whole CG, then they unlocked, even though they were here chronologically. So then, like, knowing that, it makes me wonder if this is the same thing. But I don't remember there being, like, a flashing CG that we only saw for a few moments in between this and this. Maybe there was and I just forgot, but... yeah. I guess we're not even halfway through the game, huh? Because this is where we're up to in the CGs, and... we're, like, not even halfway through page 3. And there's 6 pages. So yeah, not even halfway. Okay, anyway. Let's start. You. Okay, what was going on? Okay, first of all, let's put Sachiko on screen. Right, they were buying ingredients. They bought like... they went to a grocery store that had 4 parking spots for the entire building. Broccoli. Oh yeah, Takako said she was making curry. Oh yeah, and she bought a book for Sanae for Christmas. And they tried on some accessories. Okay. Oh, yeah, she bought an accessory for Kozue. That was her Christmas present. Okay. Is something the matter? Maiko, who had been walking a few steps ahead of me, turned around. The shopping district looks a little different compared to what I expected. What do you think it would look like? A bunch of bananas for 500 yen, 400 yen, 300 yen. Ah, I can't go any lower, but I can try something extra. What do you say? You thought you were gonna barter? Like, I twacked my thighs with my palm to imitate the sound of a stick thumping against the ground. Did you expect this to be like a traditional Mojiko banana market? I don't know what that is. I was hoping to see salesmen making passionate speeches as they introduced their merchandise and stuff. I've never bartered in my life. That sounds really annoying. What age are you? These days, you only see stuff like that as part of special shows given at tourist locations. We continued down the silent road, our heels clicking against the red and grey stone pavement, until we reached a building that looked like a box made of concrete. I stared at it, wondering what it was. Eventually, I found a sign next to an enclosed space which looked like the entrance. It's a gallery. There was a large and imposing steel door at the end of the enclosed space. It was painted completely black. You said that you wanted something to decorate the lounge with. Did I? I pushed the door open and stepped inside with Mayuko trailing behind me. This seems very... very minimalist. Or eels click against the hard parquet inside. Man, this game has used so many words I don't know. The last game I played on this channel was Fata Morgana. And I feel like Fata Morgana was a lot more like flowery and a lot more poetic with its language. But even then, there were less words that I didn't recognize in Fata Morgana than in this. Because I feel like in this, they use a lot of specific, like, material words. Like, they've used so many, like, specific words for flowers and, like, types of woods and types of trees and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what a parquet is. I mean, I can Google it. Parquet typically refers to a geometric pattern wood flooring made of small wooden slats. Okay. Like, it's used a lot of these kinds of words that I've just never heard before. Maybe ESL diff, I don't know. Multiple easels stood in the middle of the room. The paintings on them were facing in different directions. I've never heard the word easel either, even though I can understand what this means from the sentence. Like, I glanced around to see a window to the right of us and a counter to the left. A young, spectacled man was sitting at said counter, reading a book with a stern expression on his face. He didn't react to our arrival in the slightest. I also spotted some shelves and a table close to the window, the warm colors lending the place a certain countryside-esque feel. Really? This definitely doesn't look countryside to me, looking at this, but... What do you think about this? I pointed at the painting depicting a river and a sky in some European-looking land. Sorry, just lower the volume a bit. The color of the sky is certainly peculiar in this one. All sorts of color have been blended to make it that way, a pale mix of purple and pink. The river was quite colorful too, with golden trees towering above it. Do you think it would look nice in our lounge? I'd say it's perfect for a building. Speaking of lounge, can I see what your lounge looks like? Because when we saw the lounge, from the POV of Sachiko, it definitely looked like a hotel lounge. I wonder if it looks the same here from your POV. We ascended the artistically distorted stairs, reminding me of a wisp of smoke, and reached a narrow corridor on the second floor. Whoa, this is interesting. The stairs leading to the third floor had a keep outside in front of them. A row of small, palm-sized windows lined the wall on our right, the light illuminating the pictures on the left wall. I wonder if this light gets misaligned when the sun moves. This is very fancy for something out in the country, isn't it? Like having the window like specifically made to like shine on the painting. Michael took a few steps towards the row of windows. They're probably using mirrors or something. I inspected the paintings. Their frames were of a lot simpler designs compared to what we'd seen below. Most of them were similar to our candidate for the lounge, boasting a wide palette of unusual colors. The last one was a painting of a clover. Its four leaves all had different colors. Is it gonna make you remember? They look like normal windows to me, maybe a little on the thick side, but still. There are probably mirrors inside, but I can't see them. Michael returned. That's a beautiful one. I realized I had been staring at that oddly familiar thing. Okay, so you don't remember? It looks a lot like a painting I drew in the past. Well, not like using a clover as a motif was a particularly original idea. I'd already seen plenty of pictures like this. I tried searching my memories to figure out which pictures this one resembled. That abrupt feeling I had when I first saw it was already gone. Nonetheless, I felt certain it must have been something akin to nostalgia and loneliness. Don't you paint anymore? Well, perhaps it's a hobby I should pick back up. Then how about we hang your picture in the lounge instead? Would be cheaper. After a few moments of admiring the clover painting, I answered her question with a curt okay, then moved away from the picture. Realizing that Maiko wasn't following me, I glanced over my shoulder and saw her still staring at the clover. Maybe I should paint you. Sounds like a good idea. Maiko turned around and smiled at me. Stop flirting. Are you really okay with it? As I saw her smile, the feeling I couldn't remember earlier passed through the back of my mind again. I could have sworn I saw a brief moment of my past pop up for a split second like a camera flash. Maiko caught up to me and we continued to look around the gallery together. After checking all the works in the narrow corridor, we descended the stairs and found another room with pictures on the first floor. I spent the entire time trying to remember the image that flashed through my mind when Maiko smiled. Yet no matter how hard I racked my brain, I simply couldn't recall it. I mean, it's Sachiko, right? The sudden change in temperature as I stepped outside sent a shiver down my back. Phew, it's cold out here. You okay, Maiko? I think I can still handle it, but we should probably start thinking about heading back. Maiko pointed at the mountain her sanatorium was on. Yeah. As we made our way back on the road that had grown even more deserted after dark, I smelled some food somewhere in the vicinity. It was about time for late-night restaurants to open. Can we go there for a bit? Are you okay with a simple family restaurant? We've already spent lots of money today. I suppose you're right. We've already spent a lot of money, so let's spend more? I spread out the menu. Oh no, you mean because it's a cheap restaurant. Okay. I spread out the menu on the table so Maiko could see it as well. I guess I'd like a standard meal. Oh, they have tempura chicken. That's a little unusual for a family restaurant. It wasn't that weird where I come from, though I never ate it much when I was little. Why? I like deep fried chicken more than tempura because it had a stronger taste, true. But as I grew up, I started to appreciate the more mature taste of soy sauce that comes with tempura chicken. Nah. I guess that's what happens when you become an adult. Nah. Chicken still clears. Your tongue is still that of a child if you can't eat green peppers, eggplants, and other vinegar dishes though. Green peppers are okay. Eggplants I don't like. Vinegared dishes. I like vinegar. I don't mind stuffed pepper. My body can't take vinegar though. Is that so? Did you decide on what you want? Yes. Excuse me, we'd like to order. Takako, there's a bell right there on the table. Marco reached out towards it. My way's faster. Waitress carrying water to another table spotted us. See? What would we be ordering? A standard meal of chicken tempura, please. What about you, Mayuko? Seafood pasta, please. A standard meal of chicken tempura and seafood pasta. Drinks? 2 cups of hot coffee. You're fine with that, right? These guys are just coffee addicts, huh? They just drink coffee all day, every day. Yes, every character in the story actually drinks coffee. Is there any character that doesn't drink coffee? Even Kozue was drinking coffee. And she's like a child. I don't remember if Inukai and Fumi drank coffee. It's been a while. Understood. The waitress jotted down our orders on her memo and stuffed it behind the strap on her apron as she continued to the counter. I checked the picture of seafood pasta they had in the menu. It came with manila clams, shrimps, and all sorts of other marine critters. I guess swapping meals is not something adults do, is it? Sure you can. Dude, whenever you go out to eat, you gotta try what everyone else has ordered. At least I do. You gotta share it with everyone also. I wouldn't mind a chicken tempura either. It's been a while since I've had any. Oh, so you also had it back in your hometown. You familiar with yase uma? I'm not. It's a sweet meat from dango, isn't it? With soy flour topping and all that. Yeah, I haven't had that in ages. Didn't you get those a lot as snacks back in the kindergarten? Yeah, I remember this one time I was in such a hurry I ended up inhaling the flour. I almost choked. Would you like me to make them sometime? That'd be great. By the way, what are you doing there? Maiko asked as I was peeking down into my paper bag. Just making sure we haven't forgotten anything. So, have we? I went through the contents of the bag. No, I don't think so. I looked up at the nearby window, seeing the interior of the restaurant reflected in its glass. An old folk rock song, the same one I heard at the store earlier today, began playing on the radio. I'm hungry. I wonder how much longer it will take. It's going to be here in a moment, don't worry. I don't mind waiting at restaurants. You know, some people, they complain when it takes more than like 20 minutes or whatever. I'm okay waiting as long as it takes. An hour? Okay, more than an hour is probably like, that's getting to be a lot. Unless there's like, it's like a massive restaurant with a ton of people. But I'm okay with waiting. Thank you very much. Phew, that was great. I pushed open the family restaurant's door. The chicken tempura was pretty good after all. Yeah. The sauce in that seafood thing wasn't as strong as I expected, so I ended up eating the whole thing like a delicious soup. Leaving the foyer of the restaurant, we stepped out onto the streets. It's gotten even colder. You okay, Maiko? I suppose I'm a bit cold too. Let's just hurry on. Yeah. I shoved my right hand into my pocket. Want to stick your hands in here too? I pointed at it with my left. Calm down, okay? You need to chill. That's a pretty embarrassing position. She made a troubled smile. All that means is that we've got to hurry. We continued down the road, our heels clicking against the stone pavement. A light suddenly lit up further into the shopping district. It then began to spread towards us like a wave, lighting up the whole area and making me almost believe it was the middle of the day. And then we got hit by a car and died. Oh, I like the lighting on this in this CG. Well, that's right. They were saying they would light up the shopping district. Oh. Electronic lights were attached between the two opposing trees of the boulevard, resembling a golden roof above us. It's pretty. It certainly is. It might look even more amazing from above. I think you should be able to see them from the sanatorium. Really? You think Sana and Kozue saw it? I'm sure they were watching. They'll be surprised to learn we were there. Yeah. It had grown quite warm inside the car as it steadily ascended the hill. I heard a voice and slowly opened my eyes. Are you listening? Yeah, I was just resting my eyes. I hope she likes the present. Yeah. I imagine you'll be quite busy tomorrow. I'll let you know once you can use the kitchen. Yeah. Are you listening? Yeah, I'll take the seaweed as well. Excuse me? Why is it wrapped in seaweed? You're sleeping, aren't you? Is she sleep talking? Yeah. She's sleep talking, but she's still answering to our question? Or is she just pretending? Whoa! My knife slipped, and instead of peeling the potato, almost ended up slicing off my fingers. That would have been hilarious. Give that to me. My potatoes got taken away. Ako pressed the kitchen knife against the potato, and using only her thumb, I guided the blade to swiftly peel the skin off the thing. Okay, I don't want to be that. I feel like I've complained about this a lot, but if you're a patient in a sanatorium, you said that the reason you guys were here is because you couldn't live a normal life outside with your condition, right? But if you're handling a knife and like cooking with dangerous instruments, if you can do that, surely you can live normally outside, right? If you can't, then you shouldn't be holding a knife. And if you can, then you should just leave here and go live normally. Michael pressed a kitchen knife against the potato and using only her thumb, guided the blade to swiftly peel the skin off the thing. She picked up the peeled potato with the tip of the knife and tossed it into the bowl. That's not necessarily a complaint, by the way, because it's been made clear that there's like some weird shit going on with this sanatorium. So it might be related to that, the reason they're even here. I'm just saying, like, if we're taking their explanation at face value, the amount of freedom they're giving these patients is crazy, I feel. Not the amount of freedom, but the amount of, like, things they're exposing them to. I think I got it. Like, all the windows being unlocked on every floor and them having access to the rooftop. I picked up another potato, pressed the blade against it, and using only my thumb. Like, what if Takako just has a fit right now and just fucking cuts her hand off? Yeah, it's just like that. Whoa. I almost severed my finger. I placed the potato on a chopping board and sliced it into a rectangle. It became half its previous size, but at least my fingers were safe. Okay, I guess she really doesn't know how to cook, because Mariko's like teaching her. You're wasting food. Jeez, give me a break. It's not like we're short on potatoes or anything. You don't cook much, do you? No, she already told you that. You've made curry before, right? A few times, using curry sauce mix. This is my first time cooking with spice powder, though. Your first time? Don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? I've written down the recipe. I checked the little paper hanging on one of the cookware hooks in the wall. Add salad oil and some butter, then warm the pot, and shredded onion to fill the entire pot. God, my throat hurts so much. The oil vapor began hurting as my eyes as I squinted into the pot, stirring it up with a rice scoop. I pulled the cord to turn the ventilator on. It's going to be quite a bit of work to prepare a serving for 4. Is there anything I can help with? I'm good. I think it'd be better if you took care of that instead. I pointed towards the inner yard. You may be right. Is this the farmyard I've heard so much about? I'm leaving this to you then. It's starting to smell nice. I heard Meiko leave the kitchen. Stir, stir. Stir, stir. Stir, stir. This is insane. This is insane to leave this to a patient, by the way, but I checked the clock on the wall to the left. 3 minutes had passed since I started sauteing the onions. Aside from the clock, there were various cooking utensils, frying pans and ladles hung on the wall. Bottles of salt and sugar rested on the shelf in front of me, as well as the can of cinnamon and a bag of cardamom I bought yesterday. There was a window below the shelf, through which I could see a part of the inner yard. Stir, stir. I stopped stirring in the same direction and tried flipping the onions over. A wisp of smoke escaped from the bottom of the pot, making me cough. I hurriedly lowered the intensity of the flame. The onions in the bottom all look pretty brown. Once the onions release water and settle on the bottom of the pot, add water, curry powder, and seasoning, then simmer. Michael returned to the kitchen by the time my dish turned into curry vegetable soup. It smells good, because I made everything myself, starting with the powder. Definitely smells more like the real deal compared to the store-bought sauce mix. I scooped up a bit with my rice scoop. I saw it drip down like soup. Might have made it a bit too thin. Maybe it just needs more time to simmer. I made the flame a bit stronger. By the way, what are you doing there? It's going to be a surprise. Michael took a bowl from one of the shelves, then added flour, salt, and some water into it. Udon? I'm not going to turn this into udon curry. It won't be udon. Oh, that's right. Remember how there was a couple with huge shopping bags walking ahead of us back at the shopping district? Was there? When I tried to get past them, I hit my head against the sign. Look, I remember now. Wait. This is the same thing Sachiko did. I forgot exactly what scene this was, but in the prologue, there was a scene where Sachiko bumped into a sign randomly while walking down the street. And didn't she say, like, I forgot what she said about it. She said, like, oh, Takako says I always do this, even though I never do it. Or she said something along those lines, I feel. She said it was the first time she'd bumped her head against a sign since she was a child, right? I think that's what she said. But it's interesting that this is coming back up. I brushed aside my hair from my forehead to show Mayako my lump. Looks like it's swollen up a little. That's why I keep saying it's rude to take the entire sidewalk for yourselves. I could have said excuse me and add them hope and some space. I probably hurt the guy's feelings if I made him look like a fool in front of his girlfriend. You actually consider it when it comes to that? But I see bicyclers ringing their bells all the time. I wonder if I should be carrying a bell too. You can take it off a bicycle, it's not that hard. Okay, it's not the couple's fault that you ran headfirst into a sign, by the way. It's not their fault. That might be a good idea. But don't you think it would result in an even more embarrassing situation? Then what am I supposed to do? Maybe you don't need to get past him and just stay behind? I heard a bubbling sound and glanced at the pot. I licked a bit of my dish off the side of the ladle. Can you do that? It tastes burned. Michael stopped kneading the dough. Can I see? She took the ladle and had a taste of the curry. It's burned. What do I do? What do you mean, what do I do? Michael scooped out a bit of each ingredient from the pot, testing their taste. Some of the ingredients seem to still be okay. Do you have any curry powder left? Almost done. That's too bad. I glanced at the clock. It was 3 p.m. Takako, you're such a fuck up. After dusting off and carrying the table and chairs from the storeroom, we covered the table with 2 tablecloths. One was grey and had an intricate design at its edges, while the other was of a reddish color and sported the flower pattern. Yeah. I was changing the lights when I heard Michael walking down the corridor again. Looks better than I thought. What about the food? I managed to save it. Oh, I knew you could do it, Michael. Thank goodness. You owe me. Of course, just say the word and I'll do whatever you want as thanks. Whatever I want? I tried to think of something then. Gay sex? After finishing, I climbed down the stand only to have Michael suddenly run her hand through my hair. You're all covered in dust. Are you planning to participate in the party looking like this? I'll go take a bath once I'm done with this. I showed her the garland made of colored paper. It certainly has a Christmassy feel. When did you have time to make it? Yesterday. When Michael took one of its ends in her hands, her face clouded over. It's because you stay up late making things like that. Please don't pour salt in my fresh wound. Did she mean it's because you do that you have your fits? Or did she mean something else there? I could see a violent tinted sky and some tree branches through the large bathroom window. I didn't turn on the lights, but it wasn't too much darker in the room than outside. Oh. Okay. Damn, Kozue has no nipples. That's unlucky. I spotted Kozue washing her small body in front of one of the mirrors. You're quite extravagant taking evening baths at your age. Which is? What does that have to do with extravagance? I'm talking about taking your time to soak in the bath on the weekend, then cooling yourself off with a can of chilled beer before dinner. For the average person, that's the pinnacle of extravagance. You sound like an old man. At least let me be a woman. Whatever. Kazuya poured another bowl of water on herself and moved to the tub. Thanks for that CG. Did you decide on what to wear for the party? Were you actually serious about that? To an extent. I thought the others will care too much about the dress code. Haha, well, not like I mind. They don't ask for nonsense like that to begin with. I don't get out much around here. I thought it'd be cool to dress up with everyone at least once a year. I see. I didn't expect for you to actually have a reason. You think I'm just messing around all the time, don't you? Not really. I glanced at the purple sky one more time and stood up. What do you mean purple sky? You keep saying this. You mean because it's like twilight or whatever? I wouldn't describe the twilight sky as violet. But maybe. The water was splashing all around me. I'll get out first. Kazuya made a brief nod. I hurried through the chilly corridor. The mansion had warmed up a little during noon, but the warmth escaped as soon as the sun went down, leaving only this chill. Through the window, I spotted the full moon shining faintly in the sky. I closed the door as soon as I entered the room. Phew, it's so nice and warm in here. Welcome back. Mako turned to me. I almost froze to death in the corridor. The kerosene stove's flame gently flickered under the kettle placed on it. I see you've already changed. Does it look good on me? What are you wearing? You look pretty handsome. It would look better if your collar wasn't crooked though. Whoops. Mako pointed at her own neck. I fixed my collar right away. The tea's almost done. Oh cool. I'll have some. I'll bring you dinner while you drink, said Mako as she left the room. I was left alone in the room with only a table, 4 chairs, each with a different design, likely stemming from different periods. Oh yeah, I didn't notice. They're all different chairs. And a bunch of garlands around me. The first chair was of a deep... Are we gonna describe every chair? The first chair was of a deep wine red color with a red cushion and a high backrest. That's this one, I think? Or is it this one? I think it's this one. The second was embroidered with green velvet and looked almost like it came straight from England. Okay, that's that one. The third one was a country-style chair made of oak. That's that one. Finally, the last one looked like it was from the Victorian era with the cat-like legs and the delicately embroidered flower pattern on its fabric. It's that one. I sat down in the country-style chair, the one I found the blandest. Mako returned to the room. On the tray she placed in front of me, I rested a saucer and a cup of black tea. Don't spill it. I'll do my best. I wanted... Hang on. I'm sorry. I just noticed something. Is this... Hang on. So I started to do this in the middle. I just... Okay, never mind. I was trying to... I thought this room reminded me of... No, never mind. It doesn't fit. Oh, fuck, I didn't save. Did I? Oh, no, I did. Okay, I did. Phew. I saved unconsciously without even thinking about it. Okay. Following a brief nod, the door opened. Oh, you look nice. Good evening. Welcome. Have a seat here. I stood up and pulled back the chair on the other side of the table. The dress looks really good on you. Really? I wasn't sure what people usually wore to parties, so I was worried I might have overdressed. Don't worry, it looks radical. Huh? Where did you even learn that word? Selena was wearing a long purple skirt and a pink blouse with open sleeves that highlighted the curve of her body quite nicely. The pink scarf and ribbons also added the overall allure of the design. I just thought chic clothes would look good on you, but a dress like this is even better. Thank you. Sonia sat down in her chair, visibly conscious of her open sleeves. Do you want a shawl? Sonia shook her head and held up a couple of the records she brought with her. This is what you asked for. I gave the labels a quick glance. Most of them were classical music. Something calm and soothing would be good right now. I spotted the folk song I'd heard in the town yesterday. Did you just have like a record of every single song ever made? Like, how do you have all these specific songs? You even had this. Thanks. I took one of the records out of the case, placed it on the record player that used to be in Sanai's room, and let down the needle. Yeah, that's what's in the back in the CG, I was wondering. That's the record player. After some brief noise, music started playing. Right then, the door opened and in walked Maiko, holding a big pot. Good evening, Miss Sanai. Good evening. Do you need help? I'm good. Huff. She placed the pot in the middle of the table and let out a breath. What do you think about Sanai's dress, Maiko? Maiko looked Sanai over from head to toe. Didn't know you had such a good figure, Sanai. See, I told you it looks good. Thank you. You look different with your hair down, more mature. She does, actually. Really? Sanai looked away as her cheeks flushed, then ran her hand through her hair. Maiko regarded her with a gentle smile. Hey, look at me for a bit. Sanai turned towards me. What are you wearing? Relax, I'm just gonna take your glasses off. I took her glasses off. Oh. Can I have a look too? Not so sure about that. I'm the one who discovered this rare treasure, so maybe I ought to charge a fee. Hey, it's not like you lose something by letting me have a look. Grabbing a spectacled girl of her glasses like tearing off her bra in front of a crowd, you know? Is it? Really? Sanai quickly put her glasses back on. I've never heard that before. I think I read it in some book. Did you now? Anyway, I still have to bring in another pot. Should I help? No, it's just the one pot, so you two have fun while I'm gone. We sure will. Maiko left the room. Sanai inspected the room's decorations. God, when was the last time I've been to something like this? You wouldn't remember anyway. You didn't celebrate much before? I don't know, I don't even remember the last time we celebrated anything. She wasn't saying that as like a a turn of phrase. She actually meant like, when was the last time I've been to something like this? Like, she didn't know. Did you make those paper decorations, Takako? That's the moon, don't you think? They look childish. Sanai snickered to herself. This chair is from the library, isn't it? Yes. You're used to sitting in it, aren't you? It's a Christmas party, so I thought it should have a Western feel about it. I got this chair from the lobby, and the other one was in a room that looked like a study. I'm gonna track down all these chairs to see if I can see these same chairs in the other CGs we saw. I don't know if I cared that much. Well, not like it was particularly hard to find Western furniture in a Western-style mansion. What about the table? Maiko and I carried it here from the storeroom. My shoulder still hurts a bit. The table in the dining room would have been closer. It's easier to speak when the table is round, isn't it? Is it? A wise person once said, the better the organization, the less obvious are the individual achievements of its members. I feel like I preferred rectangular tables. Because I feel like round tables are a bit awkward. I don't know. I see. A pot was steaming on this table that we were discussing right now. Sanai stared at it. This is curry, right? I heard footsteps outside and soon enough the door opened. Ooh. That's a very fancy dress. I found a cute guest on my way here. Kozue entered the room after Maiko. She was wearing a light green one-piece dress. Great find, Maiko. I stood up and pulled back the chair next to me. This is your seat, Kozue. You even got gloves on your dress? She walked over to the table with small steps. I'm glad you actually considered my suggestion. About the dress or coming here? The dress, of course. You left it in the changing room, didn't you? I still wasn't sure if you'd wear it. Yeah, it looks great on you. Seems like I picked out just the right size. Where did you get it? It's a present from Maiko and me. Oh, excuse me. Maiko placed a wooden bowl of potato salad and some plates on the table. Potato salad and curry. After finished lining them up, she walked over to the empty seat opposite of Kozue, placed her hand on the lid of the pot and sat down. Okay then, I'm opening it. A wisp of white steam escaped from the pot as its lid was removed. However, even after the steam dissipated, the inside of the pot remained white. Is this a stew? So your special curry was actually stew? Everyone's picking on me. I clubbed to Maiko's sleeve as she grabbed the ladle and began serving the stew to everyone. Okay, I guess that's how she recovered the dish. I'm sorry. The curry was a failure, so we had to make some last minute changes and ended up with a stew. How does curry turn into stew? Kozue asked. It does that when... I wish this game had more of that. When it's like Kozue asked after the line, so it makes it clear who said the what. It does that when you sacrifice your morning cereal for burning the pot. I see. Here, this one's for Kozue. Maiko handed me Kozue's soup bowl. I took it and placed it in front of her. What kind of meeting is this anyway? It's a Christmas party. Didn't you see the tree on the invitation card? The only thing reminding me of Christmas right now is your pair of red socks. So my dog's freaking out. Why do people put presents into red socks anyway? I don't know, it's just what you do. Creekers were about to be sold off into slavery, so Santa prepared the gold to save them, but when he threw it into the chimney, it all ended up in the socks that were hung above the fireplace apparently. I've never heard that before. And that still begs the question, why were they hanging socks in front of the chimney? To like warm them up, I guess? Well, would you look at that? We happen to have 3 young ladies here as well. Mahiko, Sana, and Kozue. I guess we're about to be sold off into slavery. Maybe there's some gold in one of your socks too. That story sounds fishy as hell. Hey, I read it in the book. Mahiko finished handing out the stew to everyone and sat down in her seat. Let's eat it while it's still warm. Time to dig in. Itadakimasu. I placed my palms together. Sana did the same a moment later, while Kozue just mumbled something under her breath. Oh, it came out pretty well after all, said Mahiko after trying a spoonful. Man, I would be so disappointed if I was expecting curry and some stew came out. Because I really like curry. And stew is fine, but it's no curry. It is good, said Sanae. Kozue blew some air on her spoon to cool the stew down and ate it then. It would have felt more like Christmas if this was curry though, I said to Kozue. Kozue narrowed her eyes. Why? Stew feels like a winter dish to me, while curry is more fit for summer, in my opinion. Is it not winter? Are you not in the northern hemisphere? What? Oh no, okay, wait. Takako was saying this, then Kozue said this, and now Mayuko says this. So this is like disagreeing with what Takako said here. Okay. I agree. What about you, Sanae? Sanae looked up in response to having been addressed, still chewing on a carrot. Stew's for winter, I suppose. So you were only saying that because you like curry, Takako. I feel like a foreigner all of a sudden. I sliced a soft steamed potato in half with my spoon, then put it in my mouth alongside the smallest portion of stew. When do we open the gifts? After we got rid of all the dishes, the only thing left on the table was a lone pencil order. It was filled with pencils of various length and age. Maiko took a red pencil out of it. The empty space this created was then promptly filled up by the other pencils, making the whole thing even more unstable. The purple one's next. Takako. I'm not sure it's even possible at this point. I grabbed the purple pencil and swiftly pulled it out. Oh, I see. They were playing, like... Okay. Losing their support, the pencils fell and scattered across the table. Ugh, I lost again. It's because you're doing it too fast, said Sanae. The grandfather clock in the lobby struck the hour. This grandfather clock is gonna come back. It's like gonna be important in some way. There's been way too much attention drawn to this grandfather clock. Like every single scene, we always hear it ring every hour. Like it's way too... This is Chekhov's gun. Like this grandfather clock is coming back somehow. Excuse me for a bit. I stood up and left the room. I returned, now dressed in a red coat, pants, and a hat, plus a white beard. That's cute. Merry Christmas! Kozue jumped up as I threw the door open. She was the first one to see me. Have all of you been good kids this year? I met Sanae's silent gaze. If it isn't Miss Sanae, you're very good this year. Here, have this. I pulled out a book from my white bag and handed it to her. It was covered in a wrapping decorated with a flower design. Thank you very much. I turned to Kozue next. Next up on the list would be Kozue. You were a little naughty this year, especially concerning your treatment of Miss Takako. Yeah, whatever. Just get it over with already. I handed her a red bag with a big ribbon. Be a nice girl next year, okay? Thanks. Oh, see, she smiled. After we finished playing cards, Michael left to make some tea. Upon returning, she placed a cup in the front of each of us. She also brought a double dessert plate with chocolate on it, as well as another small plate with some stretched dango covered in soy flour. Those are so nostalgic, Sana remarked. I made them myself. Are those the only sweets we're getting today? I'll happily eat your share if you don't want them. I'm not giving them away. A wisp of steam billowed from the hot tea. So I'm just thinking. What was it that Inukai said that he was leaving the office for, like in the prologue? He said or was it Fumi? I don't even remember. One of them said they were attending like they were going back to their parents, right, to visit? No, for Sachiko took a trip to this mansion, and Fumi said she was going to the hot springs, right? What did Inukai say? Never mind me. A wisp of steam billowed from the tea. Before we knew it, the purple of the sky had shifted into the deep and dark hue of the night. Sanae, who had never been too talkative to begin with, felt completely silent. She was simply swaying back and forth in her chair. I could see the silhouette of a massive tree beyond the window. I think it's about time I turned them on. Yes, please. Sanae's gaze followed Mariko's back as she left the room. Sanae, look outside. Is it a Christmas tree? Because are you still awake? I'm not sleeping. Okay. I swifthed off the lights. Darkness enveloped the room, the faint glow of the stars its only source of light. That's very cute. I guess we can see the chair assignments more clearly now. If that's relevant in some way. I narrowed my eyes, trying to get used to the dark, yet before I had the time to do that, a warm light reached me from outside. Countless orbs of light drifted in the air. Kazuya approached the window and looked outside. Is that a Christmas tree? Sanae asked. The camphor tree has lights on it. I heard the door open behind us and Meiko entered the room. How does it look? It's beautiful. Though maybe we should have bought more lights. It looks splendid to me. The blinking lights of the camphor tree illuminated all of us. Cozy by the window, Sanae in her chair, as well as Maiko and myself, chatting by the door. The Christmas party continued, even after the clock had struck 10. After admiring the bright lights of the tree, we returned to our seats and spent the rest of the time talking over cups of tea. As the clock struck the hour again, Maiko suggested calling it a night and sent Sanae back to her room. Sanae wanted to stay and help with the cleaning, but Maiko wouldn't hear it. Meanwhile, Kazuya had fallen completely silent by 9:30. Our eyes looked even more drowsy than usual. When Maiko told us to wrap things up, she suddenly stood up and left the room just like that. With no one left to talk to, I had no choice but to help Maiko clean up. Maiko tried refusing my help again, but I ignored her. I placed the remaining glasses on the tray and carried them to the kitchen. Even during the party, Maiko kept carrying her plates as we cleared them, so right now the only thing left were just a few glasses and a plate with some snacks. Damn, made to clean up because you're the last one to leave. Is this all? I asked Maiko as I placed the glasses into the sink. Yes, feel free to return to your room and have some rest. What about you? I'll go back to my room as soon as I finish washing these glasses. Maiko turned the handle of the water tap and began polishing one of the glasses as the sink gradually filled up. I'll return to the night duty room then. What? Are you planning to sleep there again? I worked so hard today, I have no energy left to climb the stairs. Look within the water tap handle in the opposite direction once the sink had completely filled up. I suppose it cannot be helped then. Shoganai ne. Yep, anyways, I'm off. See you. After getting permission to sleep in the night duty room, I left the kitchen. I thought I'd be late, but feel free to go sleep before me, said Mayako as I left. I gave her my reply and continued outside. Upon entering the dark night duty room, I flipped the light switch. I unfolded the foldable table by the wall and placed it in the center of the room. As I sat down in my usual spot, I noticed 2 folded up futons in the corner. I stood up, picked them up, and placed them somewhat closer to the table. After that, I sat down in front of the table and rested my head in my arms. I let all the energy leave my body like air escaping an inflatable boat. I must have been even more tired than I thought. I closed my eyes. I remained still for a while, my mind empty of thoughts. Soon enough, I realized I lost track of time. My body felt heavy as lead. Nonetheless, I mustered all the strength I could and slowly pushed myself away from the table. I rose to my feet and staggered awkwardly towards a cupboard like some robot from an old movie. I opened its glass door and took out my notebook. Finally, I sat back down in the futon. The only thing on the notebook's leather cover was the name of its manufacturer. Mako said it was sent to me in an anonymous letter. However, that still meant someone had sent it. I opened it and took out my bookmark. I read it little by little whenever I had time, and by now the stack of pages on the right had grown thicker than the page on the left. You reading it right to left? It's written like in the traditional, Oh yeah, I guess they did say it was written vertically. Okay. What I read so far was basically a diary about my childhood. Okay, and the date fits. November 7, 1981. Today we visited an aquarium as part of a field trip. We boarded the bus at the entrance of the school, drove down the street, and after a dozen or so minutes spent on the highway next to the sea, we reached the official border of the town. Since there were no other aquariums close by, most of the other kids had already been to it with their families. Nonetheless, Takako happily discussed all the fish she loved with everyone she could. I love aquariums, especially the electric eels. They have eels here? They're in the hall after the corridor with the marinated oarfish. That thing was amazing too. It was long enough to reach the ceiling of our gym. Was it that big? The noisy chatter of the students filled the bus. I glanced out the window to see the sea beyond the breakwater along the highway. The sea beyond... What is breakwater? Breakwater. A barrier built into a body of water to protect the coastal arbor from the forces of a wave. Okay, yeah, it's one of those. Okay. The water sparkled as it reflected the rising sun. The teacher told everyone to keep it down, and the noise disappeared for a few moments, only to start up again a bit later. To enter the aquarium, we had to pass through the spinning tetrapod-looking thing one by one. It grew dimmer inside as I walked down the corridor, and the amount of water tanks on each side increased too. Below, there were bread panels with the names of fish and a brief description of their habitats. I spent some time staring at the beautiful corals inside, but couldn't find a single fish. Looking at the panel, I saw an introduction of a translucent shrimp. I looked at the tank again and spotted something akin to a permeable tentacle behind the red corals. I quit reading for a moment and rubbed my eyes. I felt pain behind my eyes, just like the first time I read the diary. But it was no longer as intense as before. As the pain passed, I returned my eyes to the notebook. I felt the memories of the aquarium come alive in my mind. We were playing Siritori in the back of the bus with Satsuko. After we got to the actual aquarium, I spent most of my time looking at fish I liked with Satsuko. The diary was written from Sachiko's perspective though. I gave the script a hard look. It seemed somewhat rushed, the letters weren't perfectly aligned and were of uneven sizes. Their shape, however, was perfect, almost like they were printed. Interesting. What I found disconcerting was that this obviously wasn't Sachiko's handwriting. Huh. What do you mean by that? That you remember her handwriting and it's not the same? It bore some level of similarity, but Sachiko's handwriting reflected her calm and practical personality. I'd never seen her misalign her letters like this. Meanwhile, the letters here felt dynamic, energetic. Placing a finger on the current page, I flipped to the very end of the notebook. Its final pages were empty without any information that would hint at who wrote it or why. And there was one more thing that bothered me. The dates in this diary were all over the place. I flipped through a couple of pages and checked the dates. Subsequent entries would occasionally be years apart, others even moved to the past. It felt completely random. Wait. I wish this gave more detail, like, or the events that... Okay, so you read all of this and you remember these events as being things that did really happen in your childhood, right? But do the dates line up with what happened and they're just, like, misordered, like they're not chronological? Or do the events and the date not line up? Like, this happened in 1982, but here it says it happened in 1980. Is that what's going on? I wish Takako was more detailed here. The most likely explanation was that someone had Sachiko tell stories and wrote them down. That didn't explain why the book was sent to me and anonymously to boot. I stretched my neck and arms to avoid cramping up in this position. Blind guesses wouldn't get me any closer to the answer. I decided to continue reading. Let's go see the electric eels. Takako pulled me by the sleeve. After following the tunnel for a while, we ended up in a wide space with no roof. In the center, there was a big curved pool that currently seemed to be in use for the sea lion and penguin show. Most of the students stopped there to look at the sea lion playing with the ball, but Takako said we could always check that out later, and continued to another corridor while cheerful music played in the background. It grew dark again, and I felt cold. The amount of water tanks also seemed to have decreased in number. Takako led the way with confident steps. As the road curved around and the corridor grew even narrower, I spotted the marinated oarfish in a huge rectangular tank. It's huge, isn't it? Feels almost like it grew bigger since last time. Yeah, right. The washed-up giant had cavities for eyes and looked quite creepy with its sharp teeth picking from its half-opened mouth. This thing could make a small child cry. I visited this place when I was small and never found it scary. Is that so? Oh, that's cute. Here, Sachiko has short hair again. She has a different hairstyle also than the last time we saw. The last time we saw her with short hair. That was when they found the 4-leaf clover. We saw Sachiko with short hair, but she had her bangs out. But here she has her bangs like parted sideways. Oh. We passed through the large door at the end of the corridor and found ourselves in a spacious, cylinder-shaped hall. It seemed about 20 meters in diameter and it had a stairwell of seats in the middle that looked like a pyramid. Aquariums loomed embedded in the walls of the room at uniform distance from each other. Circling around the seats, animals inside looked down on the audience with different eyes. The walls themselves were covered in black paint, making them almost impossible to make out in the dim lighting. Only the insides of the aquariums glowed, illuminated by a faint light. Takako, mumbling something about the usual place, headed straight ahead and took a seat at the center of the pyramid. The electrical eel tank stood right in front of us. Beep. The show in this hall is scheduled to begin at 10:30. After looking around a bit, I spotted a red digital clock above one of the tanks. Beep. The speaker turned on again. It's time to begin the show. Please direct your attention to the aquarium with the lights. It was the one with an octopus. A translucent bottle seemed to fall inside it from the top. It came with a cap you had to turn in order to release the feed inside. Okay, I gotta say, like, Takako is saying that someone heard Sachiko tell this story and then wrote it down from Sachiko's POV for some reason. But even if we assume that it is Sachiko that wrote this is insanely detailed for a diary. Like, even if I wrote this the day of, there's no way I would remember this much detail from what happened. Like, the octopus caught the ball in one of its tentacles, placed its sucker on the cap, and slowly opened the thing to access its meal. Most people don't realize just how intelligent octopuses are, or so the voice from the speaker claimed. Are we an octopus? A moment later, the lights of the neighboring tank lit up. Next, please observe this parrotfish. A couple of colorful rings were lowered into the tank. The fish swam through all of them, and after getting some feed, circled around and passed through the rings again. I really need this section to end soon, because my throat is fucking dying. It swam at normal speeds while circling around, but got really fast when it passed through the rings. Then the lights on the neighboring aquarium lit up. There's a flat triangle-shaped archerfish in it. We'll now see our archerfish make use of the water to catch their prey. The water in the archerfish tank receded a bit. An employee then came out and placed something on the branch above the water. The archerfish swiftly swam to the surface near the branch, squirted out some water that knocked the feed down, and promptly devoured it. Archerfish can squirt water up to 3 meters in height. However, they're also able to jump out of the water, increasing the height even further. The next one was a tank of electric eels. I stole a glance at Takako to see her staring at the tank with a serious expression in her mother gape. The length of electric eels varied from 1 to 1.5 meters. Like, how the fuck do you remember that? I could see them swimming around. Like, you measured the eels visually with your eyes and made like an estimation out of all of them and like had a range from the shortest to the tallest eel, like, or the shortest to the longest, I guess you would say. This is insane. I could see them swimming around in the tank with their huge kern-like fins. When another little fish was put inside the tank, a volley of zapping sounds burst forth from the speakers. The sound you are currently hearing is an auditory representation of the voltage in the tank. There's a screen above the tank that represented the curved voltage inside the cage. The little fish swam around quite energetically, but following another zapping noise, it suddenly stopped moving altogether and ended up swallowed by the electric eel. As the train departed, Takako gazed at the receding aquarium through the window with wistful eyes. The electric eels were so cool, we ended up missing the dolphin show though. Electric eels, sea otters, and the axolotls are the best things that aquarium has in any way. Takako displayed a particular interest in the axolotls, so we had to go to the exit where its cage was located a bit early. We spent the rest of our time observing the barely motile pink amphibian. I wonder where they aren't selling axolotl plushies, Takako remarked as she gazed at the picture of the axolotl she bought as part of a set in the souvenir store. They had other plushies. Otter, not others. There's a plushie of a mother otter with its cubs attached to its feet as it was embracing them. You could also detach a little one and play with them separately. I already have that one. Oh, is it really okay not to buy any souvenirs? Takako looked at me. Yes. Takako took out the axolotl pictures from the badge and held up the rest in front of me. You can have one if you want. I don't. Look, there's even one of the oarfish. I saw a naturally long fish resembling a cuttlefish fish. Unlike a cuttlefish fish, though, this one had big red fins. It was the exact same oarfish we saw marinating in a formaldehyde tank earlier. Actually, the same picture was attached to the tank next to the description. If I remember correctly, the description claimed that the oarfish was caught 8 years ago in the net of a local fisherman. It was sent to the aquarium right away and remained alive for a little while before ultimately passing away. In the picture, it was swimming in the tank. It had no eyes when I saw it earlier today, but in the picture, it was looking in some weird direction. I felt like it was looking at me. I didn't understand why a deep-sea fish would swim close enough to the surface to get caught in the net, though. I wondered what thoughts circled around its mind while being locked up in that tank. Did it regret coming up to the surface? I wonder why a deep-sea fish like this was swimming so close to the surface. Maybe it got bored of the darkness and couldn't see the corals. But the corridor it ended up in was pretty dark too, Takako added. If only the door had been open, it could have watched the electric eel show. Okay, I'm sorry. This aquarium adventure with Takako and Sachiko is very fascinating, but I need this to end soon, please. This is very interesting. I'm sure, but they would never have been bored, said Takako with a smile. The door to the night duty room opened around the same time I finished that passage. I turned around to see Mayako taking off her slippers by the door. I'm home. Welcome back. Okay, is there gonna be any point? I really hope there's gonna be like a point to that scene, right? Like this is it just supposed to be character building for Takako and Sachiko's childhood? Because Mayako passed by me, glancing at the notebook in my hand, but it didn't seem like she was particularly concerned about it. She grabbed a cup from the small cupboard in the kitchen and filled it up with water. I'd like some water too, I said as I placed the notebook back on the shelf. Mayako washed the cup she had just drunk from, filled it with water again, and handed it to me. I took it. Maybe the temperature outside was to blame, but the water felt so cold I could have sworn I had just swallowed a chunk of pure ice. Mayako sat down in front of me and let out a breath. Do you like aquariums, Mayako? I used to visit them a lot when I was little. Why? Same here. I kind of remembered my trip to one just earlier. Do you have any fish you're especially fond of? I like clownfish. I'd say I'm pretty fond of colorful sudden fish. And the corals in their aquariums always look so pretty. What kind of fish is a clownfish? Mayako made a fish shape out of her hands as she described it. It's orange and has a frame shape like this. It also has 3 wide vertical lines going through its body. Oh, and it tends to hide among anemone. It's especially cute to see it carefully peek its face from them. That sounds like anemone fish. Anemone fish? I don't know that one. I'm pretty sure the sign said clownfish though. It sounded kind of cute, so I remember it pretty well. It sure sounded like you were describing anemone fish. Can we stop with the fish talk? What kind of fish do you like, Takako? Electric eels. Electric eels, the one letting out that japping noise, right? The aquarium creates those sounds to make it easier to understand what's happening. Did you guys both go to the same aquarium? So I guess the aquarium you visited had them too, huh? Yeah, I even got a little startled when that sound just came out of nowhere as I passed by the area. Are there any other fish you like? They're not fish, but I was always looking forward to seeing others and axolotls. Me too! Axolotls got widely popular among everyone because of that television commercial. That sure brings back memories. I don't know what commercial that. Wait, hang on. Japanese axolotl commercial. Oh yeah, this is I found it, the commercial. It's like a pink axolotl playing with some beads in the water. The reason I'm looking it up is because I want to know what date it aired, because it could might get a better time frame. It looks pretty old. It was a yakisoba ad, apparently. $1985 is when the commercial aired. Because this fit with the general time frame, I guess. That sure brings back memories. I'm glad you liked them too. Seeing them slowly move around is totally relaxing, and the dumb face they make as they open their mouth is cute. Mako smiled. I'm relieved to hear you like cute things too. I was worried you'd say killer whales or sharks after those electric eels. I decided not to mention oarfish. I like cute things as much as the next person. It's just that I have more curiosity than most. You certainly do. Mako agreed with a nod. I need some water. By the way, axolotls are related to salamanders, right? I wonder if they grow big and change color once they come of age. I don't think they do. Axolotls retain their juvenile features as they grow. It's called neoteny, I think. Yeah, you just know that, of course. But I heard they can change depending on the environment. They lose their gills and adapt to lung breathing and end up looking kind of like lizards. Or at least that's what's written in the description. I think everyone in this story just has like a photographic memory. I see. I've read it countless times. You sound like you really like aquariums. How about we all go to one sometime later? Are there any around here? Not anywhere close, but I heard a new one open near Osaka. It's pretty big too. That sounds great. When are we going? Let's see. Mako fell in thought for a few moments and looked straight at me. Tomorrow. We can think about that once we finish cleaning up after Christmas. Oh, never mind. Oh, thank God the scene is over. My throat is dying. Okay, it seems like we're getting a spooky scene next, but that's for next time. I question the relevance of this whole fish sub-arc, but this whole fish subplot, but we'll see. I'm holding off on making any judgments on I'm holding off on making any judgment on like the pacing of the game until I finish it and I can find out exactly like if the game wasted a lot of time with these scenes or if everything was absolutely 100% necessary. I kind of doubt that it's going to be the latter. A lot of these scenes feel extremely superfluous and like you could cut a lot of it. Even if the scene themselves are important, I feel like you could cut a lot of things inside the scenes. And I doubt that every scene is important, just from what I've seen so far. But maybe. Depends how the story develops. But yeah, I'm holding off judgment until I finish the story, but I won't lie. That fish section was a bit of a snoozer. Especially because I don't know any of the fish they're talking about. I know what an axolotl is. I know eels. I know electric eels. That's pretty much it. I'm very curious what Takako meant exactly with the thing about the dates in the notebook being like jumbled. I wish she was more specific in what she meant. Like again, do the events still match up with the dates or no? Like is it just that the things are not in chronological order, or do the events not match up with the date? And if it is that they don't match up with the date, how much do they not match up? Like is it off by a couple months or is it like years off? I don't know. Okay, but anyway, I'm stopping here because I am dying. Alright, see you next time.